It's a half hour after the fact, but here's the thing. If you watch us just in clips or like after the fact on iTunes, TuneIn Radio, or all sorts of other things like SoundCloud or Google Play, then when do you care how it starts? Hey, it's the Mike Sasson Show. You know, we're live on Facebook Live today. Today, we're going to be talking about the opening of the Arcade Comedy Theater that I took a part in. Also, we're going to be welcoming comedian Ramsey Daniels in. Also, we're going to be talking about the fact that Alex cannot take the fact that eventually I will become a GDILF. We'll explain later. Also, Alex is going to be talking about Halloween. She had her Halloween party this past weekend, and she's going to tell you how you can tell if someone is attractive underneath their Halloween costume. This is very important because you don't want to like go home with Elvira, Mistress of the Night, and then go home and you realize, uh-oh, I'm with an ugly person. That's what you don't want to do, Alex.
Exactly.
And that's why Alex is going to help out. She's going to do their ball thoughts. Also, later on, we're going to be doing news and notes. Bah thoughts. Today it's going to be all New England all the time. Bah thoughts. Anyways. Also, and today in news and notes, I'm going to be going over a guy who might have found a loophole into showing women his genitals. A Japanese company is helping non-smokers beat smokers in life. Also, iPhone 10, it does a lot of things that people don't like, and Cam Newton might be a complete idiot. Again, it's the Mike Sasson Show. My name is Mike Sasson. That is the best producer in the history of internet radio.
Oh, my God.
What? Why? Why are you giving me? Oh my God! What?
Thanks.
Oh, okay. Anyways, best and also most humble, insanely humble. When I begin that sentence, you should see her eyes. Her eyes are just like, Mike, stop it. Everyone already knows that I am going to be in the Internet Radio Producer Hall of Fame, which I believe is in Scranton, Pennsylvania. I don't know. Maybe have you visited the Internet Radio Producer Hall of Fame, Alex? It's a beautiful thing. It's beautiful. It's right next to an Arby's, and next to a truck stop.
I want it to be next to the Big Mac Museum.
Really? You've been there?
Yeah.
It's not exactly, I mean, for something as important as the Big Mac, you'd figure that they'd build a bigger museum, but essentially it's just like...
Just a McDonald's.
It's a McDonald's with a plastic Big Mac, and...
It's not plastic Big Mac. It's like made out of gold.
It's made out of gold. It's a golden Big Mac.
It's not made out of plastic. It's made out of like something a little bit better.
Okay, a little bit, not much, a little bit. Anyways, anytime I go away from Pittsburgh, one of the things that I always mention, I mean, everyone always brings up Steelers and Steel and Alex, but the thing that ultimately I brag about is that this is the city that invented the Big Mac, because I think the Big Mac represents Western Pennsylvania. Because what happened was McDonald's was opening up. Did you just hit your head?
I'm having a lot of trouble.
You're having a lot of trouble today, but you're going to be okay. You're going to be okay.
It's just really cold.
It's really cold. It's 62 degrees in here, which is perfect big man weather. But until...
Not for little people.
Not for little people. And Alex is a little person. But she's a wonderful person, so we love her anyway. Anyways, I personally think the Big Mac represents Western Pennsylvania simply because of the fact of when you look at the fact that we were an area that looked at a McDonald's hamburger and went, nah, that ain't us. We need something bigger than that. We need something that can fill us up. Like people were going to big, McDonald's back in the 50s and the 60s in Western Pennsylvania going, ain't good enough. I eat about 4 or 5 a days before, that's all you're going to do. I got a family of 10 at home. They just came back from a stone mill, and I need about 1,500 hamburgers a night to feed them. And so that ain't going to be good enough. And so the people with the McDonald's Corporation said, hey, Western Pennsylvania, come up with your own sandwich. And they came up with the Big Mac. And actually, the gentleman who did that passed away recently, actually lived in Fox Chapel near where I grew up.
Yeah. Okay.
And that was always a point of pride that in my community was the man who built an empire on making bigger sandwiches for people.
Yeah.
That was always a prideful thing with me.
That could have been you.
That could have been me, but I decided on the internet radio route, and I haven't looked back since. Anyways, moving on. Again, I want to thank everybody involved with the Arcade Comedy Theater, the people. If you didn't know, it was all over the news and all over people's Facebook feeds and all over mine as well. This past weekend was the grand opening of the new Arcade Comedy Theater, and very rarely in life do things exceed one's expectations. This one absolutely did. It blew me away because it really isn't the Arcade Comedy Theater anymore.
Right.
It's the Arcade Comedy Complex. It's like 3 levels. It's it's set up on it was designed by performers for performers, because there's now 2 theaters. At the same time, when we were doing our comedy show, we were doing it at a second theater on the second level.
Oh.
And there was an improv show, and I actually think Rick Seaback was doing something in the bottom theater. No, I'm serious. Rick Seaback was doing something, and it was amazing because I had another show in Igomar, Pennsylvania, and so I was coming in. And now, normally, when you did this in the old theater, you would either have to go around to the back to the alley and hope that like comedians were smoking, or you'd have to pound on the door for them to let in, or you just had to bite the bullet and kind of walk through the crowd, and it was very kind of obscene to do that. Now I got shown by like a volunteer's like, no, Mike, let me show you. We went through like the caverns, and there was like a backstage, and we come up these stairs and we instantaneously get into the green room, and it was perfect. And the way they set up the theater, it was, first off, it was sold out. There was 82 people in this room, and every seat was filled. It was dark. It was just a perfect stand-up setting. I have sent pictures to Alex. Hopefully she's showing right now. That's the great Shannon Norman doing him. He hosted the show. I was on the show. Ramsey, who will be on later in the show, was on the show. Norlex Belma, who obviously friend of the show, who now goes between Pittsburgh and actually his hometown in New York City. So he was on the show. It was a great show, and I just wanted to thank everyone. I also sent you the after party photo. Did I send you with all the pizza?
Oh, yeah.
So
did you count how many? Did you eat all that pizza yourself?
I tried. It was one of those things of like, if there wasn't like knowing glares of like, looks like the big guy got another couple slices.
Pizza Fiesta too. It's pretty good.
It was, when they wheeled this in. Look at that. It's just like 1,500 pizzas. When they wheeled that in, like I was usually, when there's like parties like this, first off, I do my set. I do well, but like the crowd was into it. Anybody could have done well. Anyways, I do well. I'm in the back room. Jason Clark, who's been on the show, who was one of the guys who put this whole thing together for me. He didn't put it together for me. He put it together for everyone. But he's one of the ones who invited me on to do the show. He comes up to me and goes, "Hey, Sass, you got to come to the after party." And normally I would have just kind of just made an appearance and went, thanks, whatever. So I'm in. They have a lounge now, like a big lounge, and they on like a hand cart bring in maybe 30 pizzas, and at that moment I was like, okay, I'm here, I'm doing this.
Yeah.
And they had like almost 3 parties going on at the same time. They had that where you had like the booze and the pizza and like finger foods.
Finger foods.
Then
what kind of finger foods?
Just like little like crackers.
Pizza is
and
finger foods.
Well, like small stuff,
Okay.
like crackers and cheese,
like little tapas, little small plates.
Yeah, little small plate stuff. Yeah. Anyways, in the theater that we just did was they had a DJ in there and they had a dance party.
Okay.
So that was cool. Then they had the room in the other room where it was just pizza and food and booze and people mingling there.
So that was your room.
Actually, that was for the most part. Then down in the other theater, there was karaoke. So it was like...
Did you do karaoke?
I couldn't get up because they were all like, no, the waiting list is like 1,500 people.
What?
It was not literally 1,500 people, but like a lot of people. The improv people were all singing Disney tunes and show tunes and stuff like that, and I didn't get into it. But I wanted. What would have been what's your go-to karaoke song?
I really like doing Sonny and Cher, I Got You, Babe. That's like my family's like go-to song. Me and my dad sang it together. That or Bartender by Rehab. I play it at Scarps all the time. I'm sure you don't listen.
I don't.
Yeah. Or Usher, Burn. But that one can be long. That's a long song to do karaoke to. You have to pick like the right amount, because you have to pick the right amount of time. Yeah. Because if you go too long, you're like, okay, I'm up on stage for way too long and I feel awkward now. And I don't know all these words.
Like you shouldn't pick Guns N' Roses' November Rain, which is like 10 minutes.
Yeah, exactly.
That people would start to get pissed off.
Yeah, and they throw stuff at you.
Yeah,
you don't want to be up there anymore. You're like, I want to continue drinking. I don't want to keep doing this.
See, the thing is I don't have a go-to karaoke song. And by the way, comment on the Facebook page if you have a go-to karaoke song. I'm deciding. I don't know if I want to go like. Like I think "Living on a Prayer" by Bon Jovi would be like a go-to. If you do that, you probably that's a crowd pleaser.
Yeah.
Or Journey. Don't Stop Believing.
Yeah.
Except the fact that that's a tough song when you're just like, because Steve Perry could sing.
I just, I feel like that's a little bit overused.
Yeah.
I could also do like some Shania Twain. I've been really getting into Shania Twain lately.
Yeah. Do you do "That Feels Like a Woman"?
Well, yeah, but maybe something else. I don't know.
She's the one. You don't want to go too sappy.
Do you know "Party for Two"?
No.
Oh, it's good. You should listen to it.
And that's a Shania Twain song?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's like her raunchiest.
Really?
Yeah.
Is it about her blowing dudes and stuff?
No.
No? It's not that
it's
raunchy?
about a party for two where she like invites this dude over and she's like, don't worry about what you're wearing. It's just a party for us.
Aha, and then they're going to bang.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. I get it.
Okay.
Anyways, thank you again to the Arcade Comedy Theater. That was awesome. So last week, I had my best experience ever at the DMV.
What?
I got my new driver's license photo, and I was mentally preparing for this to last for like an hour or two. So I have like the photo card from the state and all that kind of good stuff. And I'm walking into the thing. I go up to the guy. I go, here's my thing. He goes, okay, take a ticket, whatever. I remember I was 198A. So I'm sitting there.
I remember that.
Because this is how cool it was. I walk in. I'm taking off my coat. And all of a sudden I hear over the loudspeaker, serving now 198A. I hadn't even taken off my coat yet. So I go up to the thing and I go, I'm 198A. They go, sit down. Look into the camera. And I'm like, wait, can I like take off my coat? Can I do some stuff? And they're like, okay, take 2 seconds. I take off my coat. I do all that kind of stuff. I look into the camera. I take the picture. I walk away. They go, all right, is that good with the picture? I only took 2 because they let you take one.
You took 2?
I took 2. One was
I
was just
took 1.
I was too depressed I was like, and then I the second one I was a little smiling a little bit more. So I took the second one, and then total 5 minutes I'm out the door.
Yeah.
So kudos to the DMV. So that night, I have my old driver's license photos, and so I put them all together and I took a picture of them. And one of them was from 7 years ago when I probably weighed close to about 400 pounds. And Alex can put that on the screen to show you exactly like how big I was at the time. And then my last one was when I had lost a considerable amount of weight, but I was still like, I was, no beard, no anything like that. So as a joke, as I sat there and I was kind of like, feeling good about myself, I text Alex because we've been talking about GDILFs. We're talking about grandfathers I'd like to fuck. Anyways, I texted her and I go, these are my last 3 driver's license photos. I think I'm getting better looking. By the time I'm 60, I'll be so hot, GDILF. So I'm sitting there just joking, saying, hey, I'm going to turn into a GDILF.
I don't think that I actually looked at that caption, number 1.
Okay.
I think I was too like focused on the photos. And I was like, holy shit.
And then this is your response, which by the way happened at 2:43 in the morning. So I'm assuming you're either an insomniac.
Yeah, what night was this?
This was Thursday night going into Friday.
Oh yeah, I was drunk.
Okay. And this was one of the weirdest tech responses I've ever gotten. How the hell is that even possible? And then it goes, also beard helps. So let me ask you a question. So when you saw that,
I literally out loud went, holy shit. Like I was with someone and I was like, oh my God, like look at this picture. And they were very confused at what I was showing them. But I was like, look, like how does that happen?
How does what happen?
How does that happen?
Here's what I'm trying to get it on. How does what happen? What are you talking about when you say how is what even possible?
How do you like go from looking like that to looking like you do now? It's crazy.
So essentially, you do agree with me that I am a much better looking man than I was 7 years ago.
Yeah, not to be rude, it looked like they put like one of those fat suits on you.
Which is
what I'm so used to you how you look now that it's like what? No, that's not real.
Yeah. So, I mean, like, anytime I do talk about the fact that at one time I was close to like 400 pounds, I was absolutely close to 400 pounds.
Oh, yeah, I don't doubt you.
Yeah. Well, some people do. Some people are like, whatever. Because, like, some comedians do get up there for, like, and I'll be honest with you, for a cheap applause break. They'll sit there and go, I've lost 30 pounds. And then they pause, which means everyone's supposed to go, oh, good for you.
Right.
for one point I did early in my stand-up career kind of was saying, hey, I lost, X amount of weight. And
well, technically you're still pretty much doing that now by showing us these pictures, right?
Well, I showed you the picture because I thought.
But now you're showing everyone.
Well, the only reason I'm showing everyone is because of your response. Because the way I read it in my own mind was you were angry. Like you were like, how the hell is this even possible?
Why would I be angry?
I don't know. I just assume everyone's angry. Well, I mean, there's exclamation points on it and everything like that. And just like, not like I would assume most people would text back, hey, Mike, good job. The hard work's paying off.
Why would I text you back that?
I don't know.
That's stupid.
Yeah. You're just like, screw you. I hate life. I don't know what's going on.
I wasn't angry. I was just like, what? I was so confused.
You think that I was bringing in another person.
Yeah.
Now, point blank, do you believe that you are getting better looking with age?
Yeah.
Isn't that cool, though? Because a lot of people feel that they're not. A lot of people, like you look at old
Well, I don't think I'm at the age yet to where I would think that I'm not getting better looking at age. Like I'm still, in the good ages.
Yeah, you're in the
once I hit like 60, ask me if I'm still getting better with age.
That's the best Joe Namath line, by the way, ever. Joe Namath, ex-quarterback, Beaver Falls, Pennsylvania.
Oh, yeah.
They interviewed
him.
Yeah.
That guy.
Well, he's pretty famous. I mean,
Yeah, uh-huh.
Okay. So he had a great line. He goes, I can't wait for tomorrow because I get better looking every day. That's a great line. And by the way, I agree. I think that's a good line. Anyways.
How old is he, though?
Now he's in his 70s.
Does he still say that? We should ask him.
We should get him on the show. If someone knows Joe Namath, let's get him on the show and we can talk to him. You know who else we're going to talk to? We're going to talk to Ramsey Daniels in a little bit, but right now we're going to take a break and we're going to come back with Alex's bar thoughts and experiences where he, she, or he.
I am a woman.
You are a woman. Today you are. Who knows tomorrow?
Hey.
It's a crazy world. Anyways, Alex will discuss how you can tell if someone is attractive underneath their Halloween costume, and she can't believe that I'm getting better looking. Anyways, it's the Mike Sasson Show. We will be right back.
Brian Crawford letting you know that Kevin Slogic, my State Farm agent in Allison Park, is here to help life go right and reminds you that you're listening to the River's Edge Radio Network.
Hi, I'm Rob Spear, host of Damn Near Killed Him, an interview show where anything goes.
Once they gave it to me, you could have stuck a telephone pole up my ass.
I was about to be kicked out of the country.
That's where they send the worst of the worst.
In a psych ward, normal things seem so weird in there.
He was making $5,000 a month doing gay audiobooks.
Hear some stories from people who have been to the edge and back. Thursday morning at 9 a.m. on riversedgepgh.com or download on iTunes.
I mean, that's some pretty cool shit.
It's the Mike Sasson Show. We are on Facebook Live, and after the fact, we will be on iTunes, SoundCloud, or Google Play. My name is Mike Sasson. That is Alex Clemens. Later on the show, we'll have comedian Ramsey Daniels. Alex, if you're watching on the show, is putting on more and more clothes.
It's freezing in here.
It's 62 degrees.
Yeah, that's an okay temperature for outside when there's sun and things, but when the building has not had heat for a whole week, it's not okay.
I'm quite cozy.
No.
I am quite
also,
cozy.
By the way, we never talked about in the last thing that you talked about that you said that you're going to be a GDILF.
I'm going to be a GDILF.
Which I think by your standards, you must have kids.
I will eventually have.
And then grandkids. That's a lot to happen.
Well, ladies.
By the time
let's go.
That happens.
I'll be 80 years old and holy shit. Holy shit. Are you saying that the me. What happened to you and your tongue?
There's so many fuzzies on this microphone because of all of my sweaters.
Okay.
That they just keep getting in my mouth.
Yeah, that's a shame.
How about I got a new cousin this weekend?
There you go. Congratulations.
Picked one up at the store.
There you go. Where do you get them?
Toys R Us. Babies R Us.
Maybe Babies R Us was for babies, and you pick them up in those black market.
Yeah,
Anyways, so you have a new cousin. Congratulations to?
My cousins.
Okay, their names?
See, I don't know if they want me to say their names or not.
Oh, okay. All right. So congratulations to the people that are related to Alex, but yet don't want to be identified on her internet radio show.
I don't know. I don't know how people feel. I didn't ask them,
Okay.
But anyways, so my parents are now great aunts and uncles.
Nice.
But not grandparents. And they're like, when are we going to have grandchildren? Because now my one cousin is a grandfather before they are.
Really? So they're still
upset.
competitive about that?
Yeah.
So they're really like pressuring you to like, hey, let's pop out some kids.
Yes,
Like-
there was a whole Facebook message about it on Sunday. Like,
That's
hey,
weird.
let's get on this.
That's so weird because that's a parent more or less going up to you and saying, hey, stop being so responsible. Stop doing whatever like that.
Throw away all your money.
Yeah, throw away all your money and just start screwing and let's start producing some kids.
Yeah.
Because I need something to do.
They don't even pressure me to get married. It's just that they want little babies.
They just want little babies.
Yeah, little babies.
Who do you think they pressure more, you or
Me.
your sister? Your sister is like,
It's always me.
really?
Before, I thought it was just because they saw me most, but no, I think it's still me. I don't know.
Do you, I mean, like...
They don't ever pressure my stupid brother. I shouldn't call him stupid. I
Well,
take that back.
they don't pressure. Maybe they assume
watch
that
this.
maybe they assume that you're the closest to being of birthing,
I think-
situation.
My sister would be, but
Yeah, I mean, she's almost borderline. She's in a very borderline engaged to be engaged kind of deal, isn't she?
don't say that.
What?
Well, we don't know that.
We don't know that. Anyways,
No.
but I mean, like, she could be producing more kids than you. I mean,
Yeah.
Why the pressure on you? I don't know.
know.
You're a big time internet radio celebrity.
Yeah, I ain't got time for that.
Yeah.
We'd have like a kid in the studio.
Yeah, Kathy
Ain't no
and
one got
Alan,
time
lay
for
off
that.
her. She's making moves. She's big time right now. Anyways,
All right.
I will be a GDILF.
Okay.
If Lisa Ann could be a MILF and she doesn't have kids, I can be a GDILF.
Okay, sure.
All right, cool. All right, next up, Alex loves to drink, doesn't love to reproduce, but she loves to drink, and then go into bar thoughts and experiences with Alex. Bar thoughts, go for you.
It's a love song, actually. Maybe y'all can relate. My style's dope anyway, that just slice it.
Alex right now looks like you own like an independent bookstore.
I think or like a knitting shop.
Yes.
And I knitted this scarf myself.
Like you've lived overseas, like you lived in Morocco for years, and now you're near one of the universities, and you're just like, oh, this is a great book of poetry, and I'm just like,
Yeah.
I want a book on Mike Ditka. Anyways,
I thought you were gonna. It sounded like you were gonna say my dick, and I don't think they've
there
written
are many.
that yet.
Can you imagine if there was just a book on my dick? Just like a guy wrote like an expose on Mike's dick. Just say that there's a picture on the back. Then he would have to be on like Good Morning America. Hi, this is Joe Lewis. He doesn't know Mike, but he did a story, a big. It was like a novel. It was like my dick was a private detective. Private dick, get it? Comedic genius.
Okay.
Anyways, bar thoughts and experiences with Alex. Alex, go ahead.
So I came up with 5 easy ways since I had a great Halloween party this weekend.
Yes, you did.
Like 4 people besides my main group of people came.
Okay, can we just discuss that you had your Halloween party 4 days after Halloween?
Seriously, I saw someone post this weekend about having a Friendsgiving. So they can have a Friendsgiving 3 weeks before Thanksgiving, but I can't have a Halloween party 4 days after Halloween.
You can have
That's
things
absolutely
before.
ridiculous.
It's like it's having you can have a Christmas party on December 17th.
Also, like, who doesn't if I spent like a decent amount of money on my costume. So like if anyone else spent that much money on their costume, why wouldn't you want to get one more use out of it? Also, why can't you just come to the party regardless? If you want to dress up or not, just come not dressed up and drink. I thought it was stupid, but we still had a great time. Oh, let me show you my Halloween costume.
Okay, because
Before I get into this.
I didn't know who you were. I thought you were.
Yeah,
I thought you were the lady from Scooby Doo. Personally.
Oh my God, it's so cute. It makes me want to cry. Everyone tried really hard. Zach shaved his beard for this.
Whoa.
And it looks weird. It looks weird.
You're gonna dump him because of it.
No.
Until the beard comes
of that.
back. Yeah. There's other reasons why. There you are. There's There's the people.
So we're the characters from a show called Gravity Falls. So me and Zach are the main characters. They're a brother and sister. But my costume was like spot on. So I'm Mabel Pines. It's great. It worked out way better than I thought it would, and everyone put a lot of effort into their costumes. I was so proud of everyone. My first idea was we all go as different Britney Spearses because that was like a big thing this Halloween.
Mm-hmm.
But
which Britney would you have picked?
the Britney from the music video Lucky.
Okay.
She has this pink robe, kind of furry robe thing on. I don't. Yeah.
The person who would have won would have been the one who shaved their head and started destroying
Oh no!
paparazzi
We were
cars.
gonna do all music video Britneys.
Oh, okay. Not like, mental Britney who was topless and going into the ambulance Britney.
Yeah, no.
Okay,
no.
that'd have been
not
the Britney
real
I
life
don't know.
Britneys, music video Britneys.
Okay. By the way, you kind of, if you had go-go boots on, you could have gone as just 60s college student or something like that too.
Right.
Next year, that'll be what you do. Just recycle this one.
Absolutely.
And have the Halloween maybe before Halloween. Have the Halloween party before Halloween or on Halloween.
Oh, I'm never having a Halloween party ever again.
There you go. You've ruined Halloween for her. But
I never really liked Halloween in the first place. So.
Neither have I. So let's end it. Anyways, 5 ways you can tell if someone is attractive underneath their Halloween costume.
Yes.
Number 5.
Do you want me to go 5 down?
5 down.
Okay. I don't actually have numbers by them. 5. Go the easy route and find out their name and then search them on Facebook. That's super easy.
Facebook is such a great way to find out so much about somebody.
Absolutely.
I can't imagine you may imagine back in the day, they always talk about that millennials don't like to date. Well, what's the point anymore? You know everything about them in 3 seconds. You know if they're dating, you know who they've dated, you know what their parents look like, you know when they went to school. You've got all the name, rank, serial number. Let's get down to the sex.
It makes me really afraid about who I'm friends with on Facebook because when I look at someone I don't know and I have just 3 mutual friends with them, that really shapes my judgment of them because
Yes.
these people suck. I don't want to be friends with this person.
I think one of the things that you become friends with someone if you see someone that has 82 mutual friends, you're okay, we should probably become friends.
How do we not know each other already?
Yeah. But then and then the other one that always happens to me because again, I'm a pathetic single loser guy. Apparently Alex thinks we'll never become a grandfather.
Oh my God.
But I always get the random bot. It's some insanely hot woman who lives in Florida and there's 3 friends of hers and she just came on Facebook an hour ago.
Yeah, and she has no other pictures besides her profile picture or cover photo.
And I'm just who fell for this? There was one a couple weeks ago in which there were 3 comics that were just yeah, okay. I mean, I'm just dude, come on. We're that hard up. Because then eventually you'll get a message in your instant messaging just hey, you should buy, penis medicine.
Viruses.
Yeah, there you go. Boom.
Number 4, come up with a drinking game that has you take your clothes off because those are fun to begin with, so why not?
If you went up to a guy, let's just be honest, you're an attractive woman. If you went up to a guy at a party where it was if you came up to him and just been hey, can you take your shirt off? Do you think that the guy would have a big issue?
I don't know, but it's more fun if you're playing a game.
Oh, okay.
And then you're naked too. Everyone wins. And if they are attractive, you're all right, let's just go upstairs. Let's do it.
There you go. Alex's way is just drink, get naked, and then screw. By the way, that's a country song that has not been written, and it should be. Go ahead.
No. Number 3, if they have face paint on, just accidentally throw a bucket of water at them.
How would you accidentally throw a bucket?
You never know.
How would you have a bucket of water?
Oh my God, there's a spider behind you.
But you just
and then you throw a bucket of water.
I can understand a glass, but you're saying a whole bucket.
Yeah, you don't have buckets at your house?
Okay. By the way, if a dude did any of these things, it would be assault. Because if you threw a bucket of water on a woman just to see, I wonder if those boobs are real.
Maybe you just ask your female friend to do it for you.
Okay.
If you have good female friends like me.
Yeah. You would throw buckets of water on women, right?
Yeah.
Okay. That's just Alex. That's a business she's going to start. I will throw buckets on women, buckets of water on women for your enjoyment. Go ahead.
Number 2, tell her or him that you want to get to know the real her. You really want to get to know her on the inside.
That's another sexual innuendo.
That's bad.
All right.
Number 1, just black out and decide that you don't give a fuck.
There you go. And then just have sex with whatever is in front of you.
Well, I didn't say that. Yeah. I said just don't give a fuck.
Just don't give a fuck. Anyways, again, that's a rap song or a country song that should be written. I will write it under my alias, PFAT. Anyways.
PFAT.
PFAT in the house. Anyways. That was Bar Thoughts and Experiences, helping you every day discover whether the person you are dealing with is worthy of sexual intercourse. Next up is my top 5. Play my song. It's my top 5. We're going to blast through these because we're a little late, but hey, who cares? Number 1, why isn't Boston Market more popular? They always seem to be closing anywhere. Every time I go there, I have a wonderful meal. Yesterday up in Cranberry, I was excited that I had a meeting up there, so I went to the Boston Market in Cranberry, had turkey, put some, didn't have gravy on it, put some sriracha on it, all this kind of stuff. It was really, really good.
It's interesting.
And I was the only person eating there. They had like pumpkin pie and pecan pie. It's great. Go to Boston Market. Like, it's awesome. I don't know why it's not more successful. Number 2, poop on Papa John's, because I don't know if you saw this, but the CEO of Papa John's, Jim Papa John's, I don't know what his name is. It's probably on the internet somewhere. I don't even want to know it. He claims that the NFL protests and their being a huge sponsor of the NFL is the reason why the sales of their pizzas are down.
Yeah. I mean, yeah.
Not that their pizza is like not real good. Every time I've had Papa John's pizza, I've eaten it and I'm just like, yeah, that's pizza. Like, there's nothing uniquely special about it. It's just like if an alien, you described what pizza was to them, and then they just like, oh, cheese, bread, sauce, pepperoni, and then you're just like, yeah, that's pretty much it. It's like if the cafeteria ladies of the world decided to have a pizza chain, that's Papa John's. By the way, I'd love to if you want to sponsor the show, then you have the best pizza ever. Anyways, the funniest thing is now all the rest of the pizza companies are absolutely trolling Papa John's.
Why?
Like Pizza Hut, like they asked the CEO of Pizza Hut and they said, "Hey, are your sales down? You sponsor the NFL." And he was like, "No. No." And then DiGiorno actually went on their Twitter and showed how their sales are up. And it was just like, hey, maybe it's because your pizza sucked. I would vote for that's why it's there, because your pizza sucks. Anyway, so Papa John's can suck it. Number 3, I hate the term politically correct.
Why?
Because either something is correct or it's not correct. Politically correct, if you sit there and say, oh, that's politically correct, really what you're saying is we all know that's not correct. We're just saying it to make the people feel better. And 90% of the stuff that people say is politically correct actually is correct. We're just using the term politically correct. So everything either needs to be correct or not correct. If you use the term politically correct, then you have to sit there and be like, okay, well, what is incorrect about it? And that's when you find out that your friend is racist. Anyways, number 4. This is because of this past weekend, I have this thought. Okay. This Saturday, Larry David was on Saturday Night Live. Mm-hmm. And he was at one time a stand-up comedian. Wasn't an insanely successful stand-up comedian. You know him because he was an amazing writer and a music comedian actor with Curb Your Enthusiasm. But for like 20 years, he was a comic and he was a working comic, and that's where he met Jerry Seinfeld. Anyways, when he was a host for Saturday Night Live this weekend, he actually did some stand-up. And Twitter exploded because he had the gall to do a joke which brought up the Holocaust.
Oh.
Essentially what the joke was is he goes, hey, I'm a guy that I hit on women. That's what I do. I hit on women. And so I wonder if I lived in Poland back in 1939, and because I'm Jewish, they put me in an internment camp, would I still hit on women? And then he decided to like kind of play out how a person in a concentration camp would try to hit on a woman.
Too soon?
I don't know. I mean, I guess 1945 to 2017, there's people still, whatever. But Twitter exploded with all these people going, how dare he make a joke about the Holocaust, whatever. Again, here's how I would say it from a comedian's perspective. He tried a very difficult thing on a very public forum. But number 1, he didn't just do that off the whim. I mean, that was like cleared by 1,500 people to get on network television. So it wasn't just like, Larry David, why would he do that? Someone thought it was funny. Number 2, even if you didn't think it was funny, I'll be honest with you, I would sit there and say, if I was like Larry David's friend, which someday I hope to be, a GDILF and Larry David's friend,
okay.
I would sit there and say, here's the thing. I like the premise. You need to workshop it. But because he's like a trillionaire comedian, he's not going to go to like open mics for like 3 months and workshop his how do you hit on women in a concentration camp bit. So he really didn't. It wasn't. It was almost one of those jokes where he's like, you know what? In 3 months, that could be brilliant.
Right.
But since he didn't have 3 months, he just kind of went out there on network television. But ultimately, it had a chance to be funny. I didn't think it was that terrible, but people really need to settle down because it was just a joke. And then number 5, I'm thinking of a bit where I'm trying to come up with the dumbest sentences that people always like ask you. And one sentence that people continually ask me, which I always think is weird, is when people sit there and say, hey, Mike, have you ever thought of... And here's the thing.
Becoming a football player.
Yeah, well, anything. Like, hey, Mike, you ever thought of killing someone? You ever thought about, and here's my answer to all of it. Yes. I'm 41 years old. There's
thought about a lot.
There's thinking, it means nothing. That's why when you always sit there and say, hey, I'm sending thoughts to Texas, it means nothing. Because thoughts are just, they just, boom, they're out of there.
You're putting your energy out into the universe, Mike.
I understand that, but...
So if you're putting negative energy and you're thinking badly about everything, you're just putting that out there in the universe and everything's going to die.
Okay, I understand. Well, first off, everything is going to die.
Yeah.
That's not my responsibility.
Everything's going to die quicker.
Okay, because of me. Anyways, all right. So, Alex, have you ever thought about driving your car into a pole?
No.
Right now you are.
Yeah, now.
But see, that's okay. Have you ever thought about it? Yes, right now. Have you ever thought about a purple dinosaur having sex with Bob Barker? Now you have, absolutely. See, that's the thing. When anyone comes up to you and says, hey, have you ever thought about, well, now I am. As soon as you bring it up.
I think that they meant before that exact moment. Have you ever thought about that?
Well, here's my answer to all of them. Yeah.
Have you thought about a purple dinosaur and Bob Barker?
Yes.
Have you, though?
Last night I did when I came up with this bit. So
okay.
That's my top 5 thoughts. If you ask me, have I thought about it? The answer is yes. Also, have you ever thought about having Ramsey Daniels on your show? Yes, and it's going to happen right after this on the Mike Sasson Show. I'll be sitting right here and we're doing news and notes. See ya. Bye.
Hey, River's Edge listeners. Alex here from the Mike Sasson Show, and boy, have I got to tell you about Salon 22, a small local business located right here in Millville. I got my hair colored there about 2 weeks ago, and I still can't stop staring at myself. They use this awesome new technique called color melting to make me look like a mermaid. But don't worry, if mermaid hair isn't your thing, they'll meet all your hair goals. With things like balayage, rose gold, unicorn hair, ombre, as well as monochromatic color, which is your standard basic coloring. Seriously, they do it all, and they do it good. Check Salon 22 out on Facebook and mention this ad when you make your appointment to receive a free color lock service to help preserve your color. It's a $20 value for free. I'm not kidding. Book your appointment now by calling 412-822-7222. That's 412-822-7222.
We are back. It's the Mike Sasson Show. We're on the River's Edge, normally. Anyways, but because of technical difficulties, we're just on Facebook Live, and then eventually we'll be on the podcast formats of iTunes, Google Play, and SoundCloud. My name is Mike Sasson. I'm the host. That is Alex Clemens, best internet producer in the history of the world, first ballot Hall of Famer in the Internet Radio Producers Hall of Fame. And right next to me, comedian extraordinaire, Ramsey Daniels. Thank you very much for being on the show, Ramsey.
Thank you for having me. This is really awesome.
Thank you very much for waking up early, being here, all that kind of good stuff. We always appreciate our guests. Now, checking over your Facebook, a couple things. Number one, Skidmore College?
Yes, Skidmore College.
That sounds made up.
It sure does. Actually, the first time I heard about it was I was a kid, and in my school, they were like, some senior got accepted to Skidmore College. And I was like, who would go to a school named after like skid marks in your underwear?
Where is Skidmore College?
It's in Saratoga Springs, New York. So it's like 3 hours above New York City.
Okay.
Yeah.
But here's the thing. Upstate New York is like, when you get like an hour outside of New York City.
Oh, yeah. Deep south.
Yeah. You might as well have had the college in Mississippi. I mean,
completely, yeah. Exactly the same. There were like Confederate flags all over the place, which is crazy to me because we were like closer to Canada than to the Confederacy. But
here's what I don't get about the whole Confederate flag thing. I mean, obviously, there's a million things I don't get.
Yeah.
But one thing I don't get is if you're in the North, you won.
Exactly.
You get to be the winner.
Yeah.
Your side kicked their side's ass. Yeah. You burned down Atlanta. You fucked them up. Right. It would be like if, okay, we're the Steelers, we have 6 Super Bowl wins, and you're walking around going, Browns pride.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Woohoo. And It's like, no, you get to be a Steeler fan. You get to be the side that won 6 Super Bowls.
Right.
I don't get. And then on top of that, the white supremacists are also huge fans of the Nazis. So that they got their asses kicked. We destroyed their country. We burned them.
Yeah.
The guy who led the entire thing shot himself.
Yeah.
He's a piece of shit loser.
Yeah.
See, that's what I think. I'm trying to come up with this bit. Maybe it's a little, again, too soon. But here's the thing. I think
way too soon.
If you sit there and say that, oh, how can we make white supremacists like us better? Here's why they don't like. If white supremacists hate you, the reason why is they hate winners.
Yep.
They don't like. They watch the race and they're like, boo! I like the guy who finished last.
Right.
That's the guy I like.
My favorite thing about this show is that I get to find out all of your bits that you're going to do for your shows before you do them.
That's all this is.
And then I can like mouth it whenever you're doing your thing. And then everyone's like, whoa, she knows it.
Yes,
She's like,
Did she write this?
By the way,
Like,
Alex,
absolutely not.
So I take no responsibility for this.
Yeah.
Now, as I mentioned before, you were with me on the opening weekend of the Arcade Comedy Theater.
Yeah.
How incredible is that facility? It's
yeah.
I mean, to me, and it's the perfect little the perfect like stand-up room. It was tight, low ceiling. And I love when there's a backstage and then the crowd doesn't see you until you're on stage.
Exactly.
How it should be, yeah.
Keep the suspense.
Well, because like sometimes you do like shows. And especially like when you're doing like a VFW show out in the middle of nowhere, and you're just at like a chair, you're like at a table next to the stage.
Yeah.
And so like everyone knows you're the comedian, so they're all just like looking at you. And then like people will come up to you like after a performance, and there might be someone after you, and they're coming up to you, you're very funny, I like you. And like the other comedians like, they should be looking at me. Get the fuck out of here. It's best when you can just go. I mean, imagine if like there was like a music festival and like U2 comes on, and then next up, Coldplay comes on, but like Bono hangs around like next to the stage.
Right.
And everyone's just
I think that'd be great. That sounds great.
It takes away some of the magic.
Yeah, exactly. It's all about magic, Alex.
I don't know.
It's all about magic.
I like everything to be up front.
Absolutely.
Just right out in the open.
Now, one thing in your stand-up that I really liked is you were talking about the fact that in your stand-up, you say you've done drag, but in real life, you haven't.
No, never. No.
And I was so depressed because I wanted to talk about Tuesday. I was like, you've done drag. That's amazing. Let's show pictures of it like that.
I know.
But I love you had the best comedian answer in the world. It's like, well, I've thought about it, so I think that counts that I've done it.
Yeah, that definitely counts.
Right. Halfway there. You know?
Mike, have you ever thought about doing drag?
Right now I have.
What would your drag name be, Mike?
I would have the worst. I'd have the worst. I'd be so uncreative. I'd be like Michelle. Just be like, because it's spelled the same.
I could see you as like a Priscilla.
Priscilla?
Yeah, totally.
It seems kind of shitty, you know?
Or like
okay, come up with right now. What is my...
Ursula.
Yes.
You're giving me fat girl. I don't like it. I don't like it. Bertha. I would look like, like the John Waters character guy. That would be me.
Yeah.
And by the way, I wouldn't shave the beard. That's how uncommitted I would be.
That's a thing. There's a bearded queens.
Yeah.
It's kind of like blurring the line,
Wow.
I think.
What would your name be?
Well, in the set, I said my name would just be Ramsey.
Okay, that's less creative than even me.
That's true.
I went to the female equivalent of Michael, at least.
Right. You're already a step ahead. Well, people call you microphone saxophone, don't they?
Oh my God, I've never heard that. That's
one person calls me that. Phil Florence calls me that.
That's a beautiful name.
It is.
Can we rename the show?
The Michael, what is it?
Microphone saxophone.
Okay, he calls me that. Ed Bailey, every time he sees me, calls me Sass and Titties.
Ooh.
So
that's
really
good.
Sass and Titties Sasson. I was called Sasquatch in school, like in college, because of my hairiness. And mostly sass.
Yeah.
But the thing, and this is how prevalent sass is. All of my male brothers were all called Sass in school, and my sister-in-law still calls my brother Tim at their house, even though they're married, and her last name is Sasson. He still calls him Sass. So like she'll be like, Sass, kids need a bath. Sass, dinner's
like, how do you differentiate between all of you?
Yeah, everyone's name is Sasson. So everyone's Sass in that room.
Yeah.
So
Too much sass.
Too much sass.
Yeah.
That's almost what this show became.
You should do a family podcast with your whole family
All of
and
us?
call it Too Much Sass. Yeah.
If it was all of us and all of
Yeah,
us. And
that sounds
And I have a
beautiful.
comedian out in LA, 2 other people who are improv at UCB, and then my brother. With all of
Definitely
us,
your mom, though. You have to have your mom.
My mom would just sit there and just say something ridiculous, and everyone would just respond to her ridiculousness.
She'd be like the Kris Jenner of your comedy.
She would be the she would be the one that just sits off to the side, whatever. She wouldn't be the mastermind.
Yeah.
But okay, so this past weekend it was raining. Okay, she was upstairs, I was downstairs, and she sits there and goes, "It hasn't rained yet. Has it rained where you've been?" Like downstairs? No, it hasn't rained yet downstairs. Yeah, that's my mom, just so you understand that. So, Ramsey, again, thank you very much for being on the show.
Yeah,
now, we go into news and notes about celebrity and life and sports. Play the song. News and notes presented by nobody. Anyways, this is, first off, the last couple weeks have been a bad couple weeks for total scumbags. Harvey Weinstein, it just came out yesterday, had hired private detective firms.
I saw that.
To interview potential people who could out him as a total scumbag and try to get dirt on him. He sent people in disguise and said that they were part of a women's group and talked to Rose McGowan and trying to get dirt from her. And Harvey Weinstein, this is from the heart. This is from the heart, and I think we can all agree. Jump off a bridge and die because you're a total scumbag and I hate you. Anyways.
Seems like the easy way to do it, though.
No, I want him to jump off. Actually, no, scratch that. It's like this is movies. Here's a new idea. Jump off a bridge, break your neck, and live. That's what I want. Boom, win, victory. Anyways, but this guy almost thought through his scumbaggery. There was a guy in upstate New York. We were just talking about it. Okay. He's already enthralled. He coordinated with a realtor to come see his house because he wanted to sell his house. Okay. So some morning when they had set up the time, the realtor comes in, female realtor, walks in the door, the screen is open, the door's open, she kind of knocks and goes, "Hello, hello." She sees a little movement in the living room. He goes, "Oh, come on in," like he was tired.
Yeah.
She opens the door, walks in, guy gets up, is only wearing a shirt, nothing underneath.
Why wouldn't you just go all full butt naked, though? That's what bothers me.
You did
why? If you're gonna do it, just do it all the way.
Because he had man titties. More than likely, he had man titties.
Yeah.
And so that's first off, that's only step one of the story.
Okay.
So she sat there and she was like, "Oh, I caught you at a bad time," and he goes, "Okay, I'll go change." Walks into another room, just comes in with a different shirt. And so she's like, she literally just goes, "Put on a pair of pants." Tell her, put on something.
What if he was a half nudist?
Are those things?
Sure.
Yeah.
Thank you.
They just go to a nudist colony and they're just wearing their shirts off. Hey,
I don't want to do this, all the way, but
I half-ass everything.
The real nudists are like those guys.
Yeah.
Just want to let my junk hang free.
It's like the difference between prop comics and comics. They sit there and they're not real nudists unless you take off your shirt.
Yeah.
Anyway, so that was step 2. Then step 3 is he puts on a pair of boxer shorts, but he pulls his junk out of the pee hole. So again, she sits there and goes, "Okay, I'm out of here. You're a piece of shit. I'm gone."
My favorite thing is that she waited around for all of this. She thought it would get better.
Be a good guy.
Well, because here's the thing. Realtors are trying to sell houses. If there's a chance, if he just goes, "It's granite countertops, I'll look at a junk for a little bit." Anyway, so she goes to the cops and sits there and goes, "This guy showed me his junk and blah, blah, blah. I want to charge sexual assault." The cops were like, "Well, you were in his house. He never pleasured himself. He never touched you. You can be naked in your own house."
Wow.
And I'm sitting there going exactly, this guy thought through it and got to a point to where so now the woman is bringing up lawyers going, "Figure out some way that I can charge him with something." They were having a tough time.
You just have to put that in the contract from now on.
It's just put it in the emails. "By the way,
please don't be nude.
Please do not show me your junk.
Yeah.
Right.
Which, by the way, I think that should be standard, except
on all emails
on
or
all
just
emails.
in life.
Yeah, in life. Well, except in Alex's case, you've asked, like, in terms of Halloween costumes, maybe that's his thing. It's like, hey, I'm the guy who showed his junk to the realtor. That's my Halloween costume.
That's good.
That's a good Halloween
That's
costume.
creative.
Yeah, next year.
Next year, guy who shows his junk. Ramsey, do you smoke?
No.
Alex, would you view yourself as a smoker? Okay.
Nope.
All right, we'll move on from there. Anyways, that was not convincing. A Japanese company is doing something that I think is super cool. Non-smokers were complaining that smokers were getting more time off because they lived in a big building or worked in a big building, and they'd have to go all the way down to outside to smoke, and it took like a half hour for them to do it. And so they were sitting there going, hey, wait a minute, the smokers' breaks are like way more than our breaks.
I've had that problem.
So this Japanese company did something amazing, and I hope every company does this. So they calculated over a year how much time the smokers took away from their desks. And to make things equal, they decided to say, okay, non-smokers get 6 extra days off per
Oh my
year.
God. That's great.
Isn't that the great? Like, you want to talk about it? Okay, everyone always talks. Oh, you have to pay an extra $10 a month for your health insurance. Nobody cares about that. These are smokers. They don't care about that. But if you sat there and said you get an extra week off per year if you don't smoke,
You'd at least stop smoking at work.
Exactly, and they'd be more productive. That's why the Japanese are so far ahead of us in some things. These people have thought of this already. I want every company in America, like if Obamacare had just said, hey, by the way, non-smokers, extra 6 days off from work, no one would ever get that down. The Republicans would be completely like, oh yeah, absolutely. That's what's great about the Japanese. They always think about these things. We need to watch them closer. That's a great idea. iPhone 10. Are you iPhone or are you?
I'm an iPhone 6.
Okay, so. iPhone?
No.
Okay, I'm Samsung, you're iPhone. Okay, so the new iPhone 10 is coming out.
Yeah.
Or it is coming
Came out.
Yeah,
or
a
it
couple
came
days
out.
ago,
Whatever.
Yeah.
Anyways, the thing is that it's coming out is first and foremost, people are complaining on Twitter that the camera is too good.
Yeah.
It makes them look bad.
It's like when HDTV came on and you saw that the first time you saw like your local newscaster, like how bad they did look.
It's too smart, actually. I had a problem with it yesterday. Like my boss is trying to convince me to switch over to iPhone for the longest time. And he just got the new iPhone and we were trying to take a video and it was like too smart. Like it was trying to correct things too much. And so it was like doing this weird flash thing because it was like, oh yeah, it's changing, but it wasn't good. It was too smart for its own good.
So that's one problem.
Dumb it down.
And then the other problem they're having is they've announced, they did tests, it's the most breakable phone in the history of phones.
Well, who the hell decides that you're going to put the glass back on it? Like, why would you think that that's going to make it less breakable?
I think that's the Apple's, that's how they get you.
Yeah.
They're a $100 zillion, I made up a new number, $1 company. This is how they get you. They make it that the phone breaks as soon as the new phone comes out.
Oh, yeah.
And they make it that literally, unless you put it on like a bed of like a particular type of feathers at night, that it's going to smash.
Yeah.
Now, have you had to walk around with a smashed phone for a while?
Oh yeah, for months at a time.
Mine is smashed right now. You just can't see it.
How does to me that is the got to be the most frustrating thing in the world, and the fact that these people like almost created something that gets smashed, I think is the reason why. What's his name? Steve Jobs, Nerd Jesus, is probably is turning in his grave right now because people doing this.
I forgot that he's dead.
You forgot he's dead. Yeah. That's how important he was in your life. He forgot he's dead. Have you ever done that with a relative?
No.
Have you ever sat there and be like, hey, where's Grandpa? He's dead. I forgot.
No.
I bought him a gift and everything. This is awful. Well, someone's getting 2 pairs of old man socks. Anyways, Steve Jobs. Let's go through other people. Okay.
No, we don't want to just talk about dead people the whole time.
Okay, Marlon Brando, dead or alive?
I don't know.
Okay, dead.
Dead.
All right, he's dead. Joe Namath.
I don't know that.
He's alive. So if you see
don't know him.
make sure that you tell him he's
Wait,
alive.
Ramsey, do you know who that is?
He played football.
There you go.
That's all I know.
Sports
Come on.
genius.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah.
I
This
could have
guy.
I probably could have guessed that if you would have said his name.
Okay.
Because, like, obviously, most, like, 70% of the people that you talk about are football players, so.
Abe Vigoda, dead or alive?
I don't even know.
I have no idea. Who that
Neither.
Are we done?
What?
No, he was a flight because he was like in The Godfather and he looked old in 1972 and he just never got to dying until like recently. And there was it was a website called Is Abe Vigoda Dead? And now it says, yeah.
Oh,
Well,
Sad.
I want to have that website for me.
is Alex
I'm gonna
Clemens
create
dead?
it. Yeah.
You're going to create the.
Yeah.
But then who's going to update
But
it?
then I put yes. It's like,
Ooh, and you're like, yeah, we're in hell. Anyways, all right. Let's move on to every year. I'm a lover of big butts, and I can't deny.
Yeah.
Other brothers might try to lie. Anyways, you're not a huge
that
fan.
was all wrong.
It was all sorts of right. Every year in Brazil, the home of big butts, they have a like Miss America. Only in Brazil, they call it Miss Bum Bum.
Aw.
Awesome.
Yeah, awesome. Gotta watch
Adorable.
it. It is adorable. You would like to be in Miss Bum Bum?
No, I don't think I could be in it.
You wouldn't want to be in Miss Bum Bum,
I
Miss
don't think
Mount
my
Washington?
bum bum is good enough to be in the Brazilian.
The Brazilian Bum
conference.
Bum. So,
Yeah.
okay, would you like to judge?
Maybe Mount Washington. I might be able to win it for that, but I still.
Would you
not.
want to be in? Well, let me ask you a question. If, let's say, again, when this becomes the most unbelievably watched show in the history of shows, would you judge Miss Bum Bum?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Who wouldn't say yes to that?
I would judge Miss Bum Bum.
Hell
Ramsey?
yeah.
Okay, so we got 3 new judges for Miss Bum Bum. Anyways,
What are the categories? Like,
girth.
Least amount of cellulite.
Least amount of cellulite, jiggleness, who can twerk the best,
Absolutely.
who can put a drink on there.
ooh, and that thing where they like put it on there and then they flip it like using their butt.
I think that would be
What?
part of the talent
Yeah.
part.
People do that,
Yeah, at least on the internet.
so it's totally real.
Yeah.
Okay, fine. We've decided. Mike Sasson Show will eventually have Miss Bum Bum Pittsburgh.
Yeah.
Boom.
I
Win.
don't know if I want that.
Victory. You don't know if you want. Now you're not wanting it.
I don't know, Miss Bum Bum Pittsburgh. I don't know how great that would be. I don't know if the real people we want to be in the competition would sign
No,
up.
I would want the most insane weirdos in the
It'd be
history
like
of the world.
it'd be like the crazy people from like McKee's Sport or something.
Exactly. Oh, I had a buddy who worked at the Hot Moms contest. Oh, he said the people who showed up to that. He goes, but yeah, McKee's Port showed up to that one. Anyways, so Miss Bum Bum obviously is, again, it's a tough time for scumbags. And so Miss Bum Bum is making a point. A bunch of contestants wore meat bikinis saying, hey, we're not pieces of meat.
But you're in a bum bum competition.
That was kind of the point I was making. If you become a contestant in Miss Bum Bum, can you still make the claim that you don't want to be objectified? Ramsey, make the decision.
Wow, that is a tough one.
I think obviously you always want to treat people with respect, but if you are promoting that you are part of Miss Bum Bum, you are in a contest in which you see there's Miss Bum Bum's contestants. Now you don't think that you can compete with their bum bums, Alex?
No.
Okay.
Also, the one girl literally has a garter tattooed on her leg.
Okay, and so Alex goes, idea for the future. Anyways.
That's like the wedding thing.
Yeah.
So that means she wants to be married?
I have no
Is that
idea
really-
what that even means.
Is that true?
No. All I remember is one time I was at a relative's wedding and like the older sister was getting married and she threw her garter in the air, and I think if you catch it, that means you're the next to get married.
Yes,
and
I've
her
caught a
like
lot.
little sister was like about to be engaged, so they all wanted her to catch it, but I didn't know that, and I was like really competitive, so I like jumped up and snatched that thing, and then it just got really quiet.
And you're just like, yeah, way to be a dick. And then, the little sister's like, I'll never be married.
Yeah,
Did she get married though?
she did, and
Okay.
I'm single. So.
Right. So obviously it means nothing. I've caught it before too when I was like 13. So
Right.
And you're still the next to be married.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyways, so I'm not saying you can treat them like crap, but I just think in a situation where you're trying to make a point about life, if you're part of Miss Bum Bum,
I think wearing meat on your body would be really unpleasant.
I
think.
And smelly.
And smelly, yeah.
They said it was combined 110 pounds of meat in that shoot.
Wow.
Well, they probably wasted it too.
You could feed a lot of people
Right.
with that.
But no, they needed to make a political point about Miss Bum Bum.
Well, I hope they ate it afterwards.
That sounds like a couple guys are like, yeah, I'd like to eat that meat bikini off Miss Bum Bum. That's the kind of degenerates that hopefully listen to the show.
At least cook it first.
Yeah, at least cook it. No, I'd eat it. That'd be like what someone would sit there and go, I'd eat her meat bikini raw.
Yeah.
That sounded so terrible, but yet so right. Anyways, speaking of football, Cam Newton, quarterback for the Carolina Panthers. I love post-game interviews of football players because they never really say anything.
No.
They're programmed, and I was trained the same way. You're just supposed to not say anything that can make anybody make fun of you or say anything to the other team or anything like that. So Cam Newton, one of his receivers, Calvin Benjamin, was traded to the Buffalo Bills. So after the game in which they lost because they suck because they have no receivers because they traded him to Buffalo,
right.
They asked him, they said, Cam, how do you react to the fact that you got your best receiver traded? And he said something that I thought was so spectacularly dumb that it had to be commented on the show. He sat there and he goes, Calvin Benjamin is a great player, but the Titanic still has to go.
Wait.
Did you see the movie The Titanic? I think that we need to show it to us.
We lost a great player, but nonetheless, the Titanic still has to go.
We were already sinking, and now we're still going to sink.
I just think he saw glimpses of the movie. He's like, oh, it's about a boat trip.
Yeah.
Maybe it was like my one friend never knew the Titanic sank until like 7th grade because her parents stopped the movie before the sex scene. And so she never knew that the Titanic sank.
When I saw Titanic in the theaters, this is all I remember. First off, I'm watching the movie, and like everybody else, I mean, great piece of filmmaking and very emotional. And they're in the water, and obviously, Leo's gonna die, and that's every woman's fantasy is to meet a guy and then he drops the fuck dead 2 days later. Yeah. Anyways, it's like all women are like, oh, this is so romantic. I'm like, he's dead. That life sucks. Anyways, so she's on there, and I'm sitting there going, oh, because the whole point of the movie is like man's arrogance and the fact that all the poor people died because they didn't have enough lifeboats and all this kind of stuff. So I'm sitting there in this filled theater, and this 13-year-old girl is bawling.
Aww.
Like absolutely bawling. And eventually I'm like, wow, she's really emotional. 2 minutes later, still bawling. 5 minutes later, still bawling.
Is the movie still going on?
Yes.
Okay.
10 minutes. I'm like, and
That's
we're all
understandable.
but we're all sitting there, and eventually we're like, it's not real. Stop crying. Like, if I have seen people's relatives get shot, and people don't cry this much. That's all I remember about Titanic.
13.
It's everybody. Why? She's just emotionally filled, and she's like, oh, life.
Yeah.
But
all of her hormones and stuff. There's a lot of hormones going on there. You bawl for hours because of nothing.
Okay, yeah, and nothing.
Let alone the Titanic.
And but everyone in that theater went from emotionally invested into the movie to emotionally hating this girl because she was just so loudly bawling. Yes, poor child, poor me for getting ruined Titanic. Anyways, Cam Newton, someone should tell Cam Newton that the boat sank. Anyways, moving on to a dumb church. A church was trying to make a point about forgiveness. So they put up a church sign, and I love church signs. Me and Alex are always.
I hate church signs.
You hate church signs?
They're stupid.
Okay, you've texted me a couple great church signs
because they make me so angry.
Okay, read this one because I think it's a particularly good one.
I've seen this is old.
Okay, but this happened recently. But go ahead.
Forgiveness is swallowing when you want to spit.
That was up front of a church. Now they interviewed the pastor, and the pastor claims they did not understand the sexual innuendo.
But what else would that mean?
A pastor might not understand the sexual innuendo.
But someone in the church, the pastor didn't put that up. It had to be some maintenance guy who had to sit there. Someone should have raised their hand and been like, Pastor Bill, that's a blowjob joke.
Maybe, they need some excitement in their lives. Right?
I guess. And they want to put blowjob innuendos out front of their church. By the way, do you think that increased or decreased?
Increased.
Increased? I think it increased
this
male.
This is a fun church. Let's go there.
I think it increased male, decreased female. And if the females that showed up were extremely popular. Moving on, we'll go with this. This is honoring a great man, Shannon Norman. Great guy, great comedian. If you might have started listening to me when I was on Q92.9. Or probably not because, again, that's why I'm here, because people weren't listening to Q92.9. Anyways.
They're lost.
They're lost. Anyways, it was a great show, but Shannon Norman did something amazing to Q92.9. So they posted on their Facebook a thing that said, hey, tag somebody that you used to work with, but now you don't work with anymore, and you miss them. So Shannon Norman tagged... Shannon Norman, see, that's Shannon Norman right there. Shannon Norman tagged me, Terry Jones, Mike Wysocki, and all the people that used to work at Q92.
Wow.
And then underneath it, if you sit there, so there it is, tag a coworker you don't work with anymore because they made work better. And then it says Shannon Norman, Terry Jones, Mike Sasson, Mike Wysocki. And then Terry Jones, the great Terry Jones, sat there and went, troll level 100.
That's awesome.
So I honor Shannon Norman for that level of just unbelievable trollness. So thank you very much to that. I love that so much. Oh, another person that I love dearly, great comedian. Give him up for Mr. Ramsey Daniels. Ramsey, thank you very much for being on the show.
A ton of fun. Thank you.
Awesome, great. Me. And where can they find you doing your comedy?
Monday and Thursday at Ham Bones. I'm usually there.
There you go.
I'll be in the semifinals of the competition at the Improv on November 29th. So come down and vote for Ramsey.
Vote for Ramsey.
And vote today.
And vote today.
Oh yeah, I forgot about
Democrats.
that.
Oh yeah, seriously. This is how political I am. I do all these things on politics and everything like that. I was getting my my driver's license, and the lady goes, now because you're doing this, you're registered for this Tuesday's election. And I go, there's an election?
Yeah, exactly.
Right. I had no idea until this morning.
Yes.
Facebook reminded me that was the only way.
By the way, you can vote for something today. There you go. Now, honestly,
now everyone knows.
Now everyone knows. So
one time, my mom forced me out of bed to go vote, and she gave me the name of one person. She was like, "I don't care about anything except vote for this one person." So I was just clicking through the slides at the booth, looking for the name, and then it was like, "Congrats, you're done." So I must have missed them. So I voted for nobody. My ballot said 0 people.
Way to go.
I have had buddies that have gone into booths because even years where there's the presidency, who's going to be the president, maybe running for governor, two of them. And then it's okay, who's going to be comptroller? And it's 2 names that you have no idea about. And you
I don't even know what that word means. I don't know what it does.
I think it's something to do with accounting. If someone wants to be the accountant,
sounds right.
It really just comes down to, I've had buddies who sit there and go, yeah, I always vote for the Italian.
Wow.
Just always vote for
or
the
the
Italian.
person with the coolest name.
Yeah, or the person that just sounds like they need to be comptroller.
Yeah.
Ooh, who gets to be the mayor of Shaler Township? I guess Steve Jones does. I don't know.
Yeah.
Guy might have 1,500 litigations against him. No one knows. That's our democracy. And that's Ramsey Daniels. We'll be back with Comment Your Ass Off, and then we're going to get out of here because we have to live our lives, and you too. It's the Mike Sasson Show. Again, go see Ramsey. Funny guy. See you later. Bye.
Thank you.
Go, it's green. Come on. Go.
God damn it, Brian. You need to calm down with the road rage.
I'm sick of these people, these assholes.
The road rage, man. You got to calm down on the road rage.
Well, I want to get to where we're going. We have a lot of great stuff coming up. We're going to Falling Water,
Bicycle Heaven,
the Mattress Factory,
Tuck Knob,
Trundle Manor. All right, which way do I go? Which way do I go? Come on.
Right.
Too late now.
Right, come on.
Well, too late now. I got to keep going. I'm not going to sit here like some asshole.
Oh, come on, man.
All right, you're listening to The Culture Cruise. You can find us at riversedgepgh.com.
Your local Pittsburgh area museum podcast.
Yes, riversedgepgh.com, and come take a ride with us.
It is the River's Edge. It is the Mike Sasson Show. That was Ramsey Daniels, great comedian. Watch him. And again, vote for him at the Improv. I was the judge at it 2 years ago. So Yeah, and
You judging comedy.
yeah, seriously,
You know what the best comedy is.
Yeah, I know the best. I made him into an Italian. That's how I judged everyone. Your punchlines suck. Your premises are up here shit. You need no more dick joke. Anyways, thank you again very much for Ramsey Daniels. Vote for him. Also, vote for us for the show that you watch. I don't know where you'd vote for that. And vote today, or don't.
And tell us that you're watching and you love us and you voted for us.
That's the thing. There was a very awesome message on the River's Edge where the guy was a gentleman who posted that he goes, "Hey, I love listening to the River's Edge." And Brian Crawford, the Godfather, posted, he goes, "Oh, what show do you like the best?" And the guy goes, "Oh, I love the Mike Sasson Show. The chemistry between Mike and Alex is awesome."
He has no idea what it's like off camera.
Yeah. Just hint, Alex hates me. Anyways.
He's obviously never seen us in person.
Yeah, mostly Alex just gets drunk and just goes, "You're so stupid and I hate you." And I'm like,
that's exactly what I say.
Absolutely. So again, make sure, if you see the show, say something great to us. Now, this Sunday is a big Sunday.
Dun, dun, dun.
The Steelers are playing the Indianapolis Colts, which is a huge rivalry. It's not.
What time is the game?
1 o'clock.
Good.
Yeah, so you'll
be over.
8:30, we're going to do a special Mike Sasson Show announcing, it's already been announced, but this Sunday, the Metal Edge, the all-metal local music station will be launching. We're going to have the people here. We're going to do a very special Mike Sasson Show. It's going to be incredible. You're not going to want to miss it, especially if you're like me, who love hard rock, heavy metal music. Apparently, metal.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyways,
they picked us because we're the most metal people.
The funny thing is, I'm the lover of metal. You looked to be like with your purple hair or your blue hair.
Oh, I like to fool people.
Yeah, you like to fool people.
Yeah, metal.
What? Okay, let me ask you. Okay, let me throw some bands out to you, and let me ask: do you like any of them? Okay, off the top of your head, none of them.
No, I don't.
You don't like any of them.
No.
None.
No.
None. Not one.
Not one.
Well, but you're going to be there Sunday, and you're going to change your mind.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because you want local metal.
Yeah, exactly. I'm looking forward to it because I feel like if it's local and maybe I know the people, you know, and I can go to their shows and stuff.
According to the press release, we have the largest per capita number of metal bands anywhere in the country. Woo. Pittsburgh.
Yeah, and Pittsburgh is super metal.
Super metal. We are the heavy metal city.
That's our slogan.
Yeah, the Steel City.
No. The heavy metal.
The heavy metal city. What's going to change to it? Anyways, this Sunday, 8:30, watch, listen, learn the Mike Sasson Show, very special show. And then next Tuesday, we're gonna not be here because I have to do things and Alex has to do things. So we're gonna be releasing clip. I have an idea for something we could do throughout the rest of the week, and I'm gonna run it by Alex to see if it's funny because you talked about it.
I bet it's work.
It's not. I bet it won't be that much work. I came up with it on the drive here.
I'm excited.
I think it'll be funny. So you'll watch next week. We're gonna have a bunch of clips, and watch this next Sunday as we launch the Metal Edge here on the River's Edge. Now it's comment your ass off, Alex. Go ahead.
We have 2 comments.
Sweet.
Jason says 30 pizzas all gone. That's how many pizzas were at the Arcade Comedy Theater.
And I probably ate
all gone.
I probably ate about 5 of them.
Oh.
Yeah. That's how chubby I am.
That's a lot of pizza.
I know. I'm very chubby. I felt bad every time I went to
poop for like 6 weeks.
Well, somehow, some way, I make do. Anyways, I really felt bad because I would take a slice and then I would eat it and I'd be like, I'm still hungry. Then I'd go up again and I'd take another slice and I'd come back, I'm still hungry. And then eventually I would figure that
just take 2 slices, Mike.
Well, here's the thing. A slice to me is 2 slices. But I always felt like everyone's like, look at Mike, chubby guy. Yep, keeps eating pizzas. That's how I think. That guy.
Ugh.
Mr. Pizza Eater.
Yeah.
Scumbag.
Ugh.
Yeah, that's what I assume everyone thinks of. Anyways.
Sarah commented on my costume and said she also thought I was Daphne, which a bunch of people said.
That's what I said. I thought you were the lady from Scooby-Doo.
You didn't say that.
That's what I said.
In your mind?
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Okay. But yeah, if I just change a sweater and I make my hair different, because technically she's blonde.
Mm-hmm.
No, she has red hair.
But the interesting thing about that is was that close to your normal God-given hair? Your hair?
God-given hair.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a little bit better.
Well, how about when will we see that hair?
Never.
Okay. What's your next hair color?
Oh, it's I'm buying it offline. It's a color called Sext.
Sext?
Mm-hmm.
How do you spell that?
It's beautiful. Like you would a
S-E-X-E-D?
Do you not know what sext is?
Yeah, like when you sex someone.
Yeah.
Okay, but what color? Like, how do you like S-E-X-E-D?
No, S-E-X-T, like
Okay.
a sext, like
Okay.
a sex text message.
I'm the worst speller in the world.
Okay, well, sext just makes sense because it's like a text, but sex, you know?
Okay, and what color would you say it's closest to?
You'll see.
Ooh, when will I see?
I don't know. It depends on how lazy I am.
Okay, it depends on laziness. Anyways, anything that depend on laziness is us listening to this show. Anyways, the Mike Sasson Show. Thank you very much to everyone who supports the River's Edge. And see you this Sunday at 8:30 as we launch the Metal Edge. Thank you again to Ramsey Daniels. Go watch him. He's super funny. And go watch Alex drink beer anywhere that she likes to drink beer. And go up to her and say, hey, I listened to the show and I love it and I love you. And she'll go, ew, get away from me. And then,
No, I won't.
yes, you will.
No, I won't. I would say, oh my God, thank you.
No, you'll be like, ugh, I want my space, damn it. Why can't you just let me live?
Unless I'm eating chicken wings, then you're fine.
By the way, if you see Alex eating chicken wings,
Don't come up to me.
Don't
even look at me.
If you ever seen the Tasmanian devil like spin through things, that's what she looks like eating chicken wings. That's the end of the show. That's the end of the show.
Okay.
There it is. That's where he eats chicken wings. Anyways, the Mike Sasson Show. We'll be back. See ya this Sunday, 8:30. Bye.